What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Welcome to the channel, everyone. In today's video, I want to talk about Rotos, the Lost Groom. Rotos, aka the Broken. For whoever is not familiar, Rotos equals broken in Spanish. That's kind of like what it means, Roto. And he was very broken when the champion got released. And I gotta say, he had his ups and downs, but somehow he always manages to find his way to the top. And even today, after all this time, Rotos is still one of the best defensive champions in the game when we are talking about having a threat to your team, you know? So this is going to be more of an endgame guide. I'm going to show you how to build your Rotos for defense. I'm going to kind of like give you a couple of ideas on how you can actually use him. We're going to have a look at some other defense teams out there that they are during reset and they are using Rotos in there. We're going to talk about a couple of counters as well. But that being said, let's jump over and have a quick look at this bad boy. Now, mine, unfortunately, is not a +4. I don't have him at 4-star awakened yet. I cannot wait for that to happen as well. That's why I'm not really using him at the moment. And I gotta say, the gear that I ascended, it just didn't really give me the right things that I need to make him stronger, you know? And I feel like his build is solid, but is not crazy compared to other builds out there, you know, especially that he's not a +4, which, my god, gives you some crazy stats on your champions. But this is my Rotos right here. I have him built on a Savage and a crit damage. I would love to have a Cruel set instead of the crit damage though, because I can ignore more defense, get more attack on him like this. The main thing with him is, guys, that with this skill, he can one-shot a lot of champions, especially if you manage to give him an increased attack. He's gonna be very nasty. The A1 grants that extra turn, and this can be deadly as well because it can proc quite a few times. And if the RNG is not on your side, I gotta say it, Rotos is going to destroy you. This skill will gain a lot of HP, which will make the champion tankier, harder to kill, so it can be pretty annoying. When we are talking about blessings, considering that we are talking about how good he is in defense. Like, don't get me wrong, he's amazing in offense as well. The only thing is that the fights will take you slightly longer when you are using Rotos. One thing to keep in mind is that using Rotos in offense will give you guys a higher probability, a higher win rate, because he's such a beast when he's attacking, the passive that keeps him alive with the hits, you know. But moving back to the blessings, I feel like Lightning Cage is the perfect blessing for him because not only you're getting all the right stats that you need, attack, HP, crit damage, and speed. And by the way, you want to have the champion as fast as possible. You've seen mine is not very fast. I would love to have him at like 260 speed and try to keep some of those stats on him. And just being able to have a chance to protect the buffs on him is very important, especially if you have a block debuffs or something like that, to don't allow anyone to lock his passive or anything crazy like that. So the total stats that I have on my Rotos, 44,000 HP, 6.7k attack. The higher the HP, the higher the attack, the better. So this is one of the few champions in the game that really benefit to a maximum from empowerment, because you're gaining HP, you're gaining attack, you're gaining the speed, the defense, everything that he needs just to kind of like stay alive and be more powerful, hit harder, you know. 2.9k defense, 221 speed, 101 crit rate, 291 crit damage. And yes, is a pretty decent build, I would say. When we are talking about masteries, we have offense and defense 3. Helm Smasher is the way to go for it, right? Then you want to have everything that will give you extra damage. Single out, especially if you're hitting, for example, a lot of people are attacking you with some tanky champions on their side. So you might not be able to one-shot them, but hey, when you're going to get your second hit in, most probably they're going to be under 40% HP, and then this will give you 8% extra damage. Ruthless Ambush, very important. Now, I don't have Heart of Glory, because usually people are coming in with slightly faster champions than he is, and they will try to knock him down. And if they manage to do that with a Ronda or anything like that, then it's going to be pretty pointless because he's not going to attack on full HP. So that's why I went for a Shield Breaker. Some champions might have a bit of shield on, and getting the 25% extra damage is just nuts. And of course, having Cycle of Violence, very, very important to reset the skills, because it's gonna proc pretty often. If he gains an extra turn and all these crazy things, the RNG can be just crazy. That's why he's such a powerful champion for it. And of course, we have a Retribution, we have Kill Streak, and we have a Methodical next to Savage. When we are talking about other sets that could really put the champion on the map very, very good, would be to have Instinct set, if you have it from the Forge. I don't really have many good pieces from that set either, but you will ignore 20% defense instead of the 25, and you're gaining the 12% speed, you know? So that can be pretty good, but only if you don't have a better Savage than that set, you know? If you have a very, very nasty Instinct set and a Cruel, throw them on Rotos, he's definitely gonna do an amazing job. Having reaction, refresh accessories, guys, very important too. You see, I actually have a couple of reaction pieces on him. I'm going to show you all the gear in just a second. And I have a refresh accessory. When the RNG procs in, is actually amazing, because if I can get to use the A3 twice, every now and then, when somebody is attacking me and I have him in the defense, that can be very, very good for my team, you know? So this is the weapon right here. You want to prioritize attack, crit rate, crit damage, HP, speed on him. That's kind of like the main thing. The helmet, unfortunately, doesn't have speed, but I have the HP. In a way, I would honestly prefer to drop the HP for speed, you know, but hey, it is what it is. I cannot drop the helmet from him because it's just so good for the champion. Then I have the shield, flat HP. I feel like it's giving me slightly better value than getting a percentage in there. That's 1000 HP directly. Plus, I haven't ascended the gear. You see, I'm getting more HP from here, attack from there, HP from there, which will benefit the champion. So, one thing to keep in mind. Then I have crit damage gauntlet. No HP percentage on it, unfortunately, or flat HP. This roll defense would have been much better to give me pretty much anything else but that, you know, just something to benefit him a bit more. The chest piece, speed, crit rate, HP, crit damage on it. Yeah, it would have been better if it was gonna roll me more crit damage. The thing is, he has such a low base HP. Having a percentage HP on him is not that great. You know, it's much better to have flat HP, because you can get quite a bit of value out of it. Then I have attack boots. They do have 20% HP after I ascended them. You see, I can improve the speed with some glyphs, so I could probably gain around 10-15 more speed if I'm using higher glyphs, but I feel like he's fine the way he's at the moment. I have an attack ring from reaction. That I have HP percentage. I have double roll on attack. I've actually traded a better ring to get the reaction, so I lowered a bit the attack, lowered a bit the HP, just to be able to have reaction on him. Then I have this crit damage refresher amulet, which is perfect because it gave me triple roll on HP, so it just shouts Rotos all day long. And I have the attack on it as well, which helps quite a bit. And I have a very nasty HP banner on him. I would have loved for this one roll from HP to be on attack, but hey, it is what it is. It gave me a triple speed, which is amazing on reaction. So is a godly tier banner for him. That flat HP 6000 is massive. So basically, if I'm not mistaken, around 11 HP equals 1 attack for Rotos. Something like that, if I remember it correctly. So that's another thing to keep in mind. So that's the build that I have on my Rotos. Now, when we're talking about other champions that can be used with Rotos, guys, there are quite a few out there. Now, if you don't have all the big boy champions, it is going to be a bit more difficult for you guys to make the most out of him. I'm going to try to showcase him in here as best as possible. It's going to be a bit harder against all these defensive teams because we are kind of like trying to showcase a defensive team instead. This one right here is a very typical offense team. You have a reset, you have a lockdown, increase attack, you have a nuker. So this is actually a very standard attack team. We cannot use a lockout, we cannot use a Mighty Uko because I feel like it might be a bit pointless, but you know what? We're still going to keep Mighty Uko in here. Mitrala, most of you guys will have Mitrala. If you are building her decent, she's going to be able to resist pretty much any Yumeko Warlord out there. Same with Kaimars, just because she has that amazing passive, right? So we need to bring some sort of a shield keep the champion alive. We're not gonna bring in Necret, so I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried that this won't keep him alive, but we're gonna give it a go. And if we lose, we lose. C'est la vie, mon ami, you know. But you need to bring something to keep him alive, you know. So with Mighty Uko, I can actually do that. You might have her in defense. You see, he counter-attack, and now we can actually end the nuker. It might not necessarily be that, okay, we won the fight, but it's slowing them down quite a bit, you know. And we have the second threat. We haven't managed to kill the Arbiter before she revives, but we might be able to do some damage with Uko. Uko is so powerful as well, and right now we are actually pretty spot on with what we're doing here, you know. This is actually pretty decent. We managed to keep them under control. That Arbiter, she's constantly reviving, but we have another threat, which is Mountain King. We can actually kill the threat again. And yeah, Yumeko Kaimar, they are so busted, guys, because they can constantly reset each other and reset the rest of the team. So they can go on and on and on forever like that, you know. So like this, I feel like we are pretty safe. I wish that Mighty Uko is not using the A3 only when he needs to revive, but unfortunately, he's using it whenever he wants. So this is decent. It's not gonna be an amazing defense, because you need to have higher threat champions, right? Like you need to bring in Necrets, you need to bring in nasty champions. But for the lower tiers of Platinum, you can definitely have quite a few chances at winning. And one thing that I do want to mention, because I've seen some people commenting on the previous video talking about the team power. Yes, Skratch is easy to win a fight against a lower power team. Team power is not what decides if you're winning the fight or no. It's not like in other games where team power is literally the factor that allows you to win the fight. No. If I'm building champions with 150 crit rate and 500 resistance, I'm gonna have 150k power on one champion alone, because that's how the system works in Raid. The more resistance you have, the more crit rate you have, etc., the higher the power. So when you see a very high team power, that means that is resistance in there. One thing to keep in mind. It's not like in other games, you know. So that was pretty successful, right? If we're gonna try to find a couple of different teams, this one right here is not that great because the nuker is just Valkyrie, but she doesn't have increased defense, so it will be pretty hard to make it work. This one is a good counter to our team in a way or another, because they have Ultimate Death Knight in there, and that can be pretty nasty. Now, the reason why I said you wanna have that soul cage on it, lightning cage on Rotos, is mainly because champions like Ramantu and things like that will have a lower chance at locking your passive, and that is very important. So let's actually try to give it a go here. Now I'm gonna bring a big boy champion because we're gonna need it. So we're gonna need to bring in a Necret. That's when they pair the best, like this, you know. If I would bring in a Siphi as well, that could be pretty helpful. But let's give it a go. My Mithral, I think she is slower than Rotos, actually. If I remember it correctly, yeah. I haven't been using her in quite a while. Everybody's on Stone Skin here, but guess what? We're actually taking out the first turn. So we're going to be able to attempt to steal that. No matter what I'm going to do here, Ultimate Death Knight protects me from Rotos. So when people are attacking you like that, just to know what's happening, you know. Let's put that increased attack, increased defense. That will help our champions to stay alive a bit longer. We do have bombs on, but hopefully they're not gonna wreck my champions. And I think like that Mithrala is gonna take a turn before, and she's gonna be able to cleanse, you know. Okay, log the passive. You see, that's kind of like what can happen. So as another idea, right now again, that Ultimate Death Knight is gonna protect. So it's pretty pointless to try and do many crazy things, because yeah, it's just not going to happen. Somebody got shipped there, which is nice. That was Yoshi. I have tons of debuffs on my Rotos right now, so when they will attempt to attack you in a similar manner, you will have a much better chance at succeeding. Usually they're not gonna attack you with bombs if you have Necret in there, unless they're planning to use Eilil with his A1, which I gotta say is not a very successful team, you know. And right now is no point to use this because I have block buffs on him. And I feel like the rest of the team can stay alive the way it is. We're going to try to use this again. And hopefully we're going to land a stun. Beautiful. We've done that. And now we got to slowly focus on that ultimate Death Knight. Once we're going to take him down, we're going to be in a much better spot. The whole problem is that we're going to do quite a few weak hits, you know. Okay, let's try to do that. We still have that, but we can actually cleanse now, put a shield on him, and pray for the best, you know. Don't weak hit. Of course you weak hit, because why not? But it's still a pretty long fight. 1 minute and 59 seconds. And this right here is actually a solid defense. They are people using something like this on reset in top 20, top 30. So it's definitely not a bad defense. The better the gear, the better the stats on your champions, of course, the higher the chance for you to succeed. But Uko as well is such a massive threat, you know. You can actually let it go on auto. Damn, that ultimate Death Knight just doesn't want to die, huh? Look at that. He's like, you know what? I'm not going down. But eventually they are going down. So this is another concept that you could use with him. If you don't have more to Macab, you can use more to Macab with him. We're gonna do that in the next fight as an idea. So more to Macab, another massive threat to Arena. He's just such a nasty champion. And he is great against all sorts of teams like this. Now, they're attacking with Rotos. They have a Sifi Warlord. We're going to get locked. I feel like we could potentially try to go against this team. Let's see what's going to happen, you know. Let's see what's going to happen. So, we're not going to keep Mighty Uko in here. We're going to bring in more to Macab. And then, we're not going to have a Reviver. So, that's one issue. But, hopefully, it's still going to be good enough, you know. You still need to have something to protect your Rotos. If you don't have that, it's going to be nasty. If you're using Sifi with him, if you're lucky enough to have both of them, then it's going to be a bit different. You're probably going to run a lockout as well if you have that available on your account. You need to kind of like spice it up a bit and keep it spot on. I'm pretty sure that Mitrala is not going to get locked by Warlord. I'm not even going to bother to change the lead. I'm going to keep the speed lead. So I have a bit of an advantage so they don't constantly overlap me, you know. And it seems like he 3%ed me and dropped my turn meter. We got the extra turn, so let's steal some HP, even though we don't have that increased attack, it's fine. And whenever Mortu is gonna proc his passive, that's gonna be pretty nice because it's gonna allow us to take on the enemy better, you know. So let's put that on, put a bit of shield because that Necret is getting low. I'm just a bit worried about my Necret. So right now I have this available, you see. What I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna try to go for that Sifi first and then go for Duchess, just because I don't want them to do anything crazy. Like Rotos and Sifi together, they're very, very nasty as well. Extra turn, we're not gonna be able to kill him, but it's fine. We're going to get him down now. And I'm supposed to use the 8-2 on Mitrala. I just rushed there to click, but it's pretty much game over. And Mortu, unfortunately, didn't proc the passive from that Warlord. That's kind of like going to give you a pretty solid advantage. You can use as an idea. Let's just find a different sort of team in here. What do we have available? Let's do another refresh. And this right here, fairly decent. This right here, decent. We have this one. I don't think I'm gonna overlap him like that because of that freaking Kaimar. I need to kind of like rely on a speed team here, you know. So that's kind of like what we're gonna do. He does have that Yumeko. We're gonna attempt to do a similar thing, and with Rotos, because that's kind of like what I wanted to show you. So we're gonna use a speed Sifi. That's another good way of using him, and we're gonna try to bring in a lockout as well, you know. I might not win the speed run here, though. We're gonna see. I'm not buying the speed gear like other Krakens do, which is fine. Okay, there we go. So I might actually win the speed fight. That Yumeko is pretty nasty when she's veiled, so we locked him. But I haven't managed to do nothing against his Mortu. He's not really gonna be able to do nothing against my Mortu either because it's Stone Skin. Seems like we hit on reaction. I didn't notice that I dropped her turn meter. So if that Mortu decides to proc Peril, I'm pretty much game over. Because he's gonna go for Rotos, and if he doesn't weak hit, it's gonna be dangerous, you know. and they're not attacking my Mortar, so I won't be able to proc the passive. I'm gonna try not to attack his Mortar either, you know. So let's try to get that Siphi down because she's constantly putting me to sleep. Damn, didn't I just clicked on the A2? What happened there? What happened there? So now we're gonna take that Yumeko down as well. Bang. And he still has the threat on his side. The whole idea is that I'm gonna be able to sleep them, you know. And once I'm taking down Rotos, I'm gonna be able to take out Mort too. I'm not even gonna revive Warlord at the moment. We're gonna wait a bit longer with that. Oof, that could have been nasty. We're gonna try to take him down and then take the other one and threat down. Pretty decent, but you do need to have some big boy champions if you want to make it work. You can try and use him with Pythian, with Mithrala, with Mountain Kings on shield set, with Uko. You've seen how powerful they were together. Actually, Uko is just such an amazing champion. So let's give it a go against this team as well, again with Uko, and let's try to play it out a bit different. Let's reduce a bit the amount of big boy champions that we have in here, you know. So if we're taking him out, we're taking him out, we're taking her out. Let's go to recently used first. We're gonna use Uko. I'm not gonna use Uko's lead this time around, even though I kind of like should do it just to try to mitigate a bit the... Yeah, I think if we go like this, and hopefully it's gonna be good enough because I cannot use a resistance aura. It's still big boy champions, but yeah. Let's see. Okay, so my Brogni got resisted too. You see the shield is actually huge. Unfortunately, we lost Mighty Uko. The RNG was on their side there. And I'm going to try to see if I can still win the fight from here. It's going to be pretty dangerous. I got to drop the Hex in the hope that that's gonna benefit me, you know? Okay, you see? That's why I dropped the Hex with her. Massive help there. Because we managed to petrify 2 champions. What a save. That was literally our save right there. I can't believe that we just lost Uko. And then bang, we got Arbiter and slowly we're killing their main threat. And this again, how I mentioned, is a very typical offense team. Either they're using Arbiter, if they're going against Mortals, most probably they're gonna use Duchess if they have her available, or other champions that can hide your main nuker so you don't get wrecked. But reset, increase attack, lock cooldowns is kind of like a very typical thing, you know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. How do you find Rotos in 2023? I still think he is at the top. How I mentioned, he had his ups and downs. He got nerfed at the beginning because he was very powerful. After, he kind of like sat on the bench for a while. Then a lot of us started using Siphi with Rotos, Siphi with double Rotos, and that was very powerful. Then again, he dropped off the bench, again came back in the meta, and I feel like he's always on and off. For quite a while now, he's been in here, and a lot of people were like, you know what, Ultimate Dead Knight came, Rotos is dead. And true, that's a very good counter to Rotos. Like, Ultimate Death Knight can really counter Rotos because he's single target. But that doesn't mean that every single person that's gonna attack you will attack you with Ultimate Death Knight, and not every single person will win, you know, because the rest of your team matters quite a bit. And yeah, we do have Ronda, which is a great counter to Rotos. That's kind of like what I'm mainly using to get Rotos down with her A2. She's just doing tons of damage. Sometimes they survive, they counter attack, bang, one shot my Ronda, and I'm like, damn, again, good RNG on their side, you know. Let me know how you have your Rotos build, guys. Where are you using him? Are you using him in your offense, in your defense? He is pretty solid for offense as well. I think I mentioned it already. If I haven't, I'm going to say it again. He's solid in offense. He's just a bit slower than AoE nukers. But I feel like he definitely makes your offense safer. You know, like you have a higher win rate with Rotos in the team because of his passive. He's not going to get one shot. And the extra turns from the A1. Like everything that he has in the kit is designed very well. You see, there are quite a few Rotoses in Arena as well. Usually they come out to play during Arena reset rather than during the week. Because, yeah, that's how it is. This is a very powerful as well. Ward of the Fallen, again, is a decent blessing for him. But I feel like Lightning Cage, especially that he's using him with Necrot, gives him a much higher value. That was all for this video, guys. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Much love, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.